A habit can simply be defined as an acquired behavior pattern regularly followed until it has become almost involuntary. For this video, I've gotten a lot of inspiration from a book called The Compound Effect. If any of the things I'm saying in this video really interest you, I would really encourage you to buy this book and so that you can get a little more in-depth information into some of the topics that I'm discussing. One big takeaway from the book that I got was from a quote that says, "The secret to your success is found in your daily routine." It is essentially saying that success is found in consistency. So often, we start out with really lofty goals and lots of drive and motivation to complete those goals, but then after a week, 2 weeks, or maybe even less, we run out of motivation because so often we are trained to find instant gratification in things that we do. We're not able to see the long-term implications of our actions. And when we don't see those things come to fruition in quick time, we simply give up. I know this really rings true for myself as well. I can't count the times that I decided to start working out more or start eating healthy with no set plan and no set idea of what I'm doing, and assuming that I'm going to get results quickly, and then a couple weeks pass and nothing's changed, and so I decided to quit. And I think so much of it is our culture has lost sight of the need of struggle, of strife, and long-term commitment in order to bring about goals. It may take months or even years to just start to see some of the results. Much of the book preaches that the path to success is riddled with many mundane, unsexy, and oftentimes difficult tasks that have to be compounded over time in order to reach those things that we're trying to strive for. Oftentimes we quit early without seeing any success because we haven't allowed the compound effects to take over. And so we simply quit early, even though in the long run, there are so many rewards that are waiting on us. So now that you've got an understanding of the power of habits compounded over time, I'm going to kind of lead into a concept that's called simple habits. Now, this isn't technically a word that they use within the book that I read, but I've heard it from some other sources, and I think it applies really well to the teachings within the compound effect. Simple habits are things that you choose to do every single day, and the things that you know you can do every single day. For example, if you decided to start working out, don't choose to set up a schedule that makes you work out 2 hours a day for 5 days a week. You can't sustain that. Instead, set a daily goal of something more manageable, maybe 30 to 45 minutes a day. And then if you're feeling more up to it certain days, you can go past that. But this allows you to have a minimum set each day, that no matter what the day is and what's thrown at you, you can still accomplish that and keep it going. Oftentimes we set these goals when we have very lofty expectations and high motivation, and so we can accomplish them for a small amount of time. But once the rubber hits the road and life gets difficult, we decide to give up because we simply can't meet those goals anymore. Therefore, by setting these simple daily goals that can always be accomplished, it's something that you can do every day despite how you're feeling or despite what's going on. This allows it to eventually become a habit and something you almost do without even thinking. And then after a while, once you start to get more comfortable with whatever routine you're starting to put in place, you can ramp up the intensity, you can add time, you can add things to it that make it a little more difficult and actually give you more chance to grow more once it's more comfortable to you. No one runs a marathon by trying to go out there and run it all at once on their first try. Now, everyone starts at a different place, but you have to let compounding be your friend and start somewhere and build over time. And building a little bit every day. You're not going to get there all at once, but you have to let compounding be your friend and not your enemy. Compounded over time, these relatively simple habits can bring about extreme change in your life. A lot of times it can be even simpler than we imagine. For example, choosing not to eat that extra snack that's 100 calories each day can result in losing dozens of pounds over a year's time. Now that you have a better understanding of what habits and simple habits are, I'm going to give you a few other tips that can help you better apply them and bring some more motivation behind them. No matter what goals you have in life, you have to have a why behind them. Simply put, when your why is big enough, you're able to accomplish any how. In other words, if you have enough motivation behind a goal, you're always going to accomplish it. Now, your why can take a lot of different forms depending on what your goal is. Whether it be trying to fit into those new jeans, whether it be trying to improve relationships in your life, or just trying to feel healthier. It really doesn't matter what your why is as long as it motivates you and it's legal and moral. Now, if you're still having trouble after all that to accomplish your goals, there's still a few other things you can do that will help. The first one being finding an accountability or success partner. This can be extremely helpful as they'll provide a lot more encouragement and support as you go week to week, and you can check in and they can encourage you towards your goals. The second one being make a competition out of it, whether it be with yourself or those around you. Find ways to reward yourself for doing well, and find ways to compete with others in your family possibly, and bring them alongside you to help motivate you even more. When considering the concept of habits and their consistency, remember the law of inertia. Objects in motion tend to stay in motion, and objects at rest tend to stay at rest. Now, this goes for you starting to run every day, or it could stay with you on the couch. If you're remaining on the couch, it's going to be a lot harder to get off of it in the future. Now that I've explained how you can start some of your habits, I'm going to talk about some of my own. So let's take a look at my morning routine. The first thing I do in the morning before I ever even look at my phone is drink a large glass of water and take some time to read my Bible. And then following that, I've been trying to take a walk every day where I spend some time thinking, praying, and worshiping, and generally reflecting on my life and what I can improve on. Once I get back to my house, I spend around 15 minutes on Duolingo learning German. Later in the afternoon, due to quarantine, I've decided to have my workouts inside to start out. And so whether that take the form of push-ups, squats, or ab work, I do that for a while, and then I've made it a point to go on a run every day. Whether that be a mile, 2 miles, or even less, I make sure to run every day, no matter how I'm feeling, just so I can have that on my daily routine. And then sometimes when I'm feeling really great, I can go for really long runs. And the last crucial daily habit that I've started implementing within the last month is trying to journal every day. Now for me, it's been really difficult in the past to start journaling because I generally don't like writing a lot. And so I actually found this new app. It's called LifeTales. I would check it out, and I'll leave a link in the description. But basically what it gives me the ability to do is record myself via video on my phone. And so instead of having to write out how my day went and how I'm feeling, I use a video journal, and I generally reflect on how my day is, how I'm feeling, and then I try to say 3 different things that I'm thankful for in the day. I really hope you enjoyed this video and gleaned something helpful from it. If any of those habits that I mentioned interest you and you want to hear more about them, comment below if you want to have a video about them, or if there's any questions you have about them. I'd really love to help you out and answer any of the questions you have. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. One thing I do ask is that you hit that like button below, because every time you hit that button, it helps put my video into other people's feeds so that they get to watch my video as well. I really appreciate that, and I ask that as well that you subscribe so you get to see all the new videos I put out every single Monday. So thank you so much, guys.